Hey guys, it's Sam. I just wanted to pop on here really quick and say that I made my final selections for 2025. I had discussed in my previous video that I was very deadlocked in decision making with what I was going to have as like my planner sidekick for the year. The Hobonichi Weeks is my 2025 planner, and I am ready to move into that new one when this year is officially over. But I had been thinking about what I wanted to do about my sidekick notebook going into the new year. And initially I had planned to go into a pen and gear, which has worked pretty well. There are some disadvantages, I think, to that. So I'm going to talk to you about what I ultimately chose and why. So if that's something that you're interested in, stay tuned. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Sam. I like to talk about planners and stationery mostly. And if you're coming back again, thanks so much for being here with me again. It's always good to have you. So like I said, my initial thoughts were the pen and gear notebook. And although this did work pretty well for me throughout the year, the spiral does get kind of annoying at times, and sometimes I really felt like I needed some more space. I did like the ability to jump into just a whatever page to be able to tear it out if it was nonsense. There were moments where I took notes for other people and then handed it to them out of the notebook. But ultimately I just thought, and maybe it's because I've been so happy inside of a bound book since June of this year that I just kind of wanted to let go of the spiral. And then I thought about upgrading my space because, like I said, sometimes I have longer lists, which that can be figured out outside of the notebook. But I don't know. I felt pretty strongly that I wanted to make a change. I know a lot of you, well, maybe not a lot. There were probably somewhere between 3 and 5 people at least mentioned the Hobonichi thin notebooks, which is good, especially if you want to make sure that you're keeping a really light carry, but I really just don't like them. They're so thin, they're so narrow. I don't have small handwriting. I make the Hobonichi Weeks work because it's for my planning / micro memory journaling, and I have learned to fit myself into the space. But when I'm writing messy notes, shopping lists, brain dumps, that kind of thing, I want to not worry about the paper. I don't want to worry about super tiny grid sizes, and I don't want to worry about pens smearing. And of course, those notebooks are made with the original Tomoe River paper, which does not dry as quickly as apparently the new Sanzen paper dries. I have not moved into my new 2025 weeks yet, so I will get to know that better here in the coming year. But for now, that one was definitely never on my short list, even though it's very convenient. I did think about field notes and those kinds of smaller notebooks. I actually purchased, which I think I still might do a video on, I purchased a pocket Leuchtturm and a pocket pen and gear notebook, and I thought maybe that would be the thing with no spiral. And in the end, it came down to these two, and I really thought it was going to be this one. This one is the A5 Leuchtturm, and I really wanted this because it's hardcover. And so I would be able to have stability in the car, out at the grocery store, and everywhere. And I wouldn't have to worry about it going into a cover. And as silly as it is, I also really liked, let me see, I think I have my stickers here. So I do like to put stickers on books like this. And I really liked this kind of earthy / boho vibe going on with the stickers that I wanted to use this year. I really liked these colors of the moth and my Shut Up Everyone sticker. I just really thought that that was going to look really good. And so nobody, I swear there was like maybe one person in the comments for my last video that said to go with this book. And I told my husband, because he even said the pen and gear. I told my husband, I was like, nobody wants me to choose this book, but I'm going to choose this book. So I did. I got my cheap ballpoint pen out, like I have been using with my pen and gear, and I started writing to-dos because we were really, really busy this last week, obviously with Christmas coming up this coming week. And I thought that this would be the one. And I have talked before about how I do not like dot grid, but this is what I have. And I was really wanting this color, and I can't find this color anymore in grid or lined. And I already, like, it might not look bad to you, but I can already tell where I'm just struggling with in between the dots. And the other thing, which has nothing to do with the dots themselves, is I just don't think that I prefer this paper, this Leuchtturm paper. I don't mind that it's cream. I quite like cream myself, but I like the numbered pages. I like the hardback. I like that it closes on itself. And I might explore pens again, but I was just not finding that I felt like I was enjoying the writing experience. And then when I coupled it with dot grid, I just thought, maybe this isn't the one. And I come on here with a decision and I'm still questioning myself, but it's gonna be one of these two. I think that I have decided this one's out. I'm definitely going to, why am I always indecisive like this when I come on to do a video? I was sure. And now I'm like, well, maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance because I was so busy this weekend. Gosh, before I put any stickers down, I'm going to be sure, that's for sure. But yeah, I still like that idea. The cons with this one is it's just a little bit bigger, and it's hardback, which is a pro and a con because, you know, it doesn't have any kind of give or anything when you put it in your bag. But otherwise, I think there are some good pros with that. I was at Books A Million this last weekend, and I didn't have this notebook with me to compare, but they did have a B6 plus size, I believe, and it was either ruled or grid, and there was like one of them there. And if it wasn't $20, I would have just gone ahead and picked it up. And that's kind of my other thing with these. I just don't know that for the B6 size soft cover, $20 is worth it. These are like $25, and it's kind of painful to invest that much in just a blank notebook. But they are good quality, so I'll give them that. But I don't know, something about this paper isn't my favorite. And then I have here somewhere one of the like official bullet journal ones with the even thicker paper, and I hate that paper. I do prefer the thinner if I'm going between the two. And maybe it would get better if I just forced myself to use it and got over myself for once in my life. But initially, my first thoughts was, this is unfortunately not going to be it. But I'm not doing anything. I'm giving myself a few more weeks to be completely settled since I am no longer committing as of this video. So before I started recording and talking, and sometimes this happens, I am an external processor, so I'm not an extrovert in the way that I enjoy talking to strange people. And I do get pretty drained when I have to extrovert a lot, but I process extroverted. I like to talk about my feelings. I like to talk about choices. I like to talk about, you know, A versus B, pros and cons. I do it on paper, but I also like to just kind of feel it out with someone I trust, or the entire internet. So this is helpful for me. So before I started this video, I would not have thought that this guy was still anywhere on the table. This was I made my decision, but maybe that's an ish. Before I got started, this was my decision. And this was honestly, I was like, oh, why is everybody saying that? That's not even the one I think I want to go with, because I think as I did the video, I was kind of leaning towards this one, even though I didn't say anything. But everybody was saying Stalogy, Stalogy, Stalogy. And I had a new Stalogy. And of course, I do like to make these cute too, even if I abandon them. But I adore the Stalogy paper. So I did go ahead, and for both of these notebooks, I made 2 pages for each month starting out, so that if I do decide to go back and draw in calendars, I don't have to abandon it like I did this year's B6 Stalogy, because I put calendars in the middle and hated myself for it. Yeah, so I did give myself 12 months and then I got right into it. And this has been my life this weekend. This has just sat open at my cubicle and then has gone everywhere with me. And then there were a couple of stores where I was like, okay, we were literally gone all day from the time we got up yesterday till the time it was time to go to bed, Christmas shopping and finalizing all of that. So there were a couple of stores where I was just like, I don't want to go into the store with my bag anymore. And so we would like stop at home and put stuff away, and I was like writing down the last of the things that I needed. And this Post-it, oh gosh, this made me laugh so much. So we got like individual Post-its packages, and this is obviously not the Post-it brand, from my supervisor at work. And so she picked them up at a college bookstore back in the summer and picked up one that she thought fit each of us. And she really, oh, she got mine. So mine says, my husband just said, calm down like he wants his own Dateline special. Hilarious. So yeah, we finished with our Christmas shopping. I was doing some planning for Christmas in here, like Christmas dinner, and then there was like this tiny little micro journaling, and then I honestly should have known better, but we ended up adding so many things to our to-do list yesterday that this kind of spun out of control. But I should have had a full page for this, and I'm gonna kind of let it ebb and flow. And this is what I do in my spiral notebook at work, which is bigger than the Pen and Gear, but not full size paper page. I have one day for every page. And if I don't fill it out completely, then no harm, no foul, because it's just a notebook. And I'm like, you need to think of that this way here. Just let it be. And then if you have things that you want to write, I want to write, just I'll have space for it. But I still don't think I'll do that, because if I'm remembering correctly, this has 365 daily pages. And so if I did that, I would run out, because I've already put these pages up here for the monthly. So I'll probably just let it flow kind of organically like this. But again, I just wasn't expecting yesterday to get out of hand. And I don't know, I love everything about this notebook. I don't care that it's not numbered. I don't care that there's this faint calendar situation at the top. I love the grid spacing. I love the way the paper feels. I have yet to find a pen that I don't like in this notebook. I love the way the paper sounds. I love everything about it. It's not bright white, but it's not like the yellow of the Leuchtturm. Let me see. I feel like the Pen and Gear is brighter white than that. Yeah, this is brighter. So it's not as bright, but it's not quite yellow. I remember my friend Lisa has used these for years. I don't think she uses one now. But she would always talk about her Stalogy and the Stalogy paper, and I'm like, I don't know what she sees in this paper, but I totally know what she sees in this paper now. I know that the A5 has the smaller grid. I don't remember if this is 4 or 5 millimeters, but whatever it is, the A5 size is a smaller grid. So I don't think that I would move to that. This one is the B6. I feel like it's a really happy medium. And then I think I incorrectly answered somebody or mentioned in my video last time. They asked me what clear cover this was, because I just slid this off of my other one, put it on here, and I thought it was Midori, but it's actually Nolte. It does have a pen loop and a card pocket, just a slip-in slot there for the front cover. But this is also my cover from Jenika's journals, which I've had for about a year, and unfortunately it hasn't gotten used a ton, because after about a month of use I jumped out of this notebook. But I am hoping that this is the one. I feel like as much as I wanted this to be the one, I feel like this is the one. So as of this moment, I guess, to be completely transparent and honest, I would say that my system for 25 is either going to be my Hobonichi regular weeks, also Anna Jenika's journals cover. I will list her shop in the whatever thing below. So it's either going to be this guy and this guy, or this guy and this guy. I like that so much. But for right now, this paper is doing it for me. And I do much prefer grid over dot grid. So yeah, I hope to figure this out, but it's difficult. I know some hormones were at play. And then there's also the stress of Christmas week. So I think that maybe that has me kind of doubting myself at the moment. So I'm going to have to get past that and make a decision. For now, I'm just going to be using the Stalogy. But I think the only thing is that I'm going to wait to decorate with my stickers until I'll like junk pen test this one up in the back to just be triple, double, quadruple. That was in the wrong order. I'm going to be sure before I make my final selection. But like I said, I just wanted to jump on real quick and let you guys know what my decision was. And then the whole world fell apart. So yeah, it's down to these two, but probably this guy. Okay, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here or lurking for a while and haven't subscribed yet, I'd appreciate it if you give me a subscribe. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, or if you don't celebrate Christmas, Happy Holidays. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon. Bye, guys.